Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Shout out to Kansas for burning stuff.
They're doing that again?
They do it every year.
Does Nebraska burn stuff?
No.
No. Nebraska does not burn stuff. We are anti-burning.
I mean,
Correct?
I wouldn't say anti, but yeah. I'm not anti-burning. But you know.
So Rico is hoping that Nebraska starts burning.
Look, I'm just saying, if you need some stuff on fire, I might want to help you out.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska esports coach.
Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown. 98 yards and a Lambeau leap.
Here is your host, Ahman Green.
Let's get at it. Lambeau leap for everybody.
Yes, indeed.
Lambeau leaps for everybody. You can be a part of what we're about to do here. The great Ahman Green is in studio. 402-464-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. And, of course, the Honda Lincoln hotline. If you want to call in, add to the show, please do so. You can do so on the text line. We're live, the Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. And, of course, if you're sitting at home or if you're at work and you have Allo Cable, just pop it on channel 951 and you can check it out, man. All on television. This is not just radio, AG.
No, I know. You got the very, the easy access to different platforms.
Whatever way you consume, we want to feed you.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
How are you, great one? What's happening?
I'm doing good. Had a good weekend down in Orlando with my godson and his family.
Uh-huh.
And the Middle Eastern family. Been here for a lot of years, though. His dad's Indian, mom's Pakistani, and they just ended Ramadan.
Yeah.
And so when Ramadan ends, it's basically like Thanksgiving every day.
It's a party.
Because they don't eat during the sun up. When sun goes down, that's when it's time to eat. And so now the last Thursday, Friday, so, I ate so much in 3 days that I didn't have to eat for the last 2 days.
Did you go through? did you go through with them?
No, I just
okay.
I say the first day I did Friday for Monday morning or Friday morning to wake up. Yes, I did. Just to be a part of it a little bit. But then meeting their other friends and actually seeing them go through their ritual prayer and everything, which was obviously very interesting and you get to experience that stuff. I just sat there and watched, obviously. So
powerful, though.
And very powerful. I mean, it just shows because my good friend Mustafa, his dad, Ahman's dad, actually named the son after me. I've been knowing him for 20 plus years now. And I think it was the actual first time, maybe the second time I actually seen them do the whole ritual prayer and get on their knees and bow and do the chant and everything. So very cool. Very, very cool to see.
Because of the time of year we're in I've been around NBA players who went through, and it was always amazing.
Yeah.
It was always amazing to just how do you process? It's hard enough to play in the league or play in Major League Baseball under normal circumstances.
Some guys on their football too, because I remember guys coming to training camp or seeing interviews saying, "Hey, I can't do this, I can't eat this, I can't drink this right now." I'm like, I don't know how I would function during training camp.
Right? Like I just think it's amazing. And again, the will of human and the power of faith.
You figure it out.
You get through. It's that time of year, right, where in colleges lives are changing.
Yeah. Yep.
In the NFL, lives are changing.
About to change. Yeah.
So walk us through the week of spring game. What do you remember most about going into spring game?
Oh man, like for myself, the way I was wired, I was treating this like any other, like a game, not just. I knew it was practice.
Yeah.
And we're kind of going through the motions just to, work out some different plays or coaches wanted to see players, work at certain positions because they hadn't seen them because they were redshirted or they were injured during this regular season. So now this is their time to show up on the film. And so, for myself, I know my first year, first part of it, sophomore spring, I strained my right quad. And so didn't do a whole lot, but I ended up playing later in the spring game that year. But then my junior year one, I remember having a pretty good game. But yeah, that mindset every week, every day walking into that week was miss a regular game. I'm going to prepare my body the same. I'm going to prepare mentally, looking into the playbook, even though I've been here 2 years, 3 years, going into my junior year and going, had a season under my belt, going into my sophomore, finishing up my freshman year into my sophomore year. And so it's just business as usual. I took anything on that field serious. And I knew at the end of the day, my teammates were there to make me better. And that's how I looked at it. I didn't look at it like any other thing. If it was, for us to get better, that's what I try to use it as, get better on the football field.
What was the crowd like then?
Oh, crazy.
Right? I mean, because
Yeah.
I think they're expecting upwards of 70,000.
Right. Yeah, we got new coaching staff and coming in and everything. So it was packed in. It was sold out from top to bottom. I remember in high school when I was a recruit coming on either my official or non-official visits, coming down to the spring game, watching it with my family or friends, and seeing the games being played and it's like, wow, this is serious in terms of the people being there, the fans being there. It's pretty cool to see it.
How important was that in the recruiting to get you over the edge?
For spring ball?
Yeah, like to walk in and see, oh, they're showing up like this for spring ball.
Right. With the fans, like for me, the fans wasn't like a driving force. Like I knew that was part of the game.
Yeah.
I was so in tune, and I told you this on the first episode when I was getting recruited, and I don't know if I mentioned, but I made a little notebook, some charts. And I made this chart where I had certain categories: the weather, the scheme of offense, the major. I was wanting to go computer science at that time, so if the college had that, so I made this chart, and so that's where in recruiting, I was like just dialed in from that aspect. So and seeing at schools that wanted, I also played baseball too, so I had that on the list, because I was a dual sport athlete, wanted to keep that going from what I did in high school. Actually, I did 3 sports: I did football, baseball, and track. But that mindset where I was dialed in, seeing the fans was like, it's just icing on the cake. It's cool, they're supporting you.
So you almost pulled a Strickland, and you would have played baseball as well.
Oh yeah, I wanted to, but
what position did you play?
Outfield, so left, right, center. I like center better.
So you were Jock Jones. You were just out there
having fun, hitting home runs, throwing people out from center field at home base, stuff like that.
Did you think about it? Like once you were here, did you think?
Oh yeah,
you know what?
That first spring ball, I asked Coach Solich, and I can't remember if it was Coach Solich, Coach Osborne, and that's like, because I already had talked to the head baseball coach. I can't remember his name now, but I remember talking to him in the fall. Said, hey, yeah, I'm gonna come over here in the spring, and then when spring got here, and I'm like, it was like a week before we got off of break. And I came back, and I had talked to him before that break and said, yeah, I'll be here after break. And he was like super excited. And then spring,
imagine some coach Ahman Green teased him and said, I'll be here in the spring. And he's just running around campus just like this is the greatest day ever.
Oh, man.
Would that have been Coach Sanders?
Yes, it would have been Coach Sanders, 95, 96. And
Coach Sanders, we all cry for you today.
Oh, man.
We all weep for you today.
That's one thing. I was like, oh.
He was just like,
I was ready. But it didn't, couldn't play it, but did my spring ball, respected my coaches and everything, and just went with it. But I use it to, like I said, get better. I looked at it as a regular game, just still was interesting learning that I had to do that. Just thought that, resting your body was a good thing too. So yeah. I was thinking about all that at the same time. But once I was like, this is part of the routine by my sophomore and junior year, then I was like, this is the way, it's okay. We'll figure it out and learn the plays a little bit tighter, a little bit better to get ready for the fall.
So through the course of the hour, anytime you get Ahman, it's an encyclopedia of stories and information. And then we'll get into what he's actually doing and a lot of the focus of esports and go through that. But as you're telling this story, the curiosity becomes, okay, so what was on that list? You said there was a list of boxes, categories.
Yeah.
What was the list, and what was priority one?
Priority one, it was obviously the major,
Okay.
computer science, and then priority two was the offensive scheme. It was there a run first team or a pass first team.
Okay.
And then if they were pass first, how much did the running back get the ball? So I did, it wasn't no internet big around that time. So I would just get books or get information.
Yeah, you went to the old, what was it?
The programs.
The street. What book?
Yeah. I know you're talking about something in street.
Yeah.
Two names.
Yeah.
Two names.
Yeah.
Something
It would come, and when they came out, it was like literally every athlete in the country would buy the
Street and Smith.
Street and Smith. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's how you stocked information back in the day, and how you compared yourself, and then how you were recruited, because college coaches had their noses in this thing to do that. The scheme itself, and then you make the decision. Okay, these boxes are checked.
Yeah.
And then, as a 3-sport athlete, did you ever consider running track while you were here?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the radar too. But once I got in the spring ball heavy, then I kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna worry about it. As long as I could, somehow keep my speed, during training in the off season for football, that was the only thing I wanted to do, because that's what I knew in high school that kept my speed up.
Yeah.
Doing spring track, going, and going to practices. That was obviously how you did it. Going to the meets was part of it, but it's practices where you got better running, learning how to breathe, the arm technique, your leg lift, all that stuff, that technique to run fast.
Yeah.
And when I started doing it in my freshman year, it was like leaps and bounds from my freshman year at Omaha North to sophomore year, and then junior year at Omaha Central, where I had 3 years of 3 springs under my belt by my junior year, how my speed development progressed. And it was awesome, because I was, very fast, but then heavy at the same time, being 195 or 205 my junior and senior year running during the spring ball, during spring track when I was in high school.
Did you win the state title?
My senior year, yes. Yeah, I came in second, slipped to I'll never forget, it was Stanford from Lincoln High.
So you always know who got you.
Yeah, and I slipped out of the blocks, and I still made up ground, but not enough. But I told myself then, I said, I'm not going to slip next year, and I'm going to win every event to get here back to state, and I did that. And then, it was great feeling to get that, my senior year, a lot of work put into that to finish it off right.
Ahman, did you ever look across the fence at Nebraska's track team and I could probably get?
I would talk to them all the time. The sprinters.
Yeah.
I was like, what y'all do at practice today?
Yeah, like I could be the number one.
I'm like, what's your, when indoor started early, I'm like, what's your 55? They were telling me, 5.1 or something, 5 something or 6 something. I'm like, what's your 100? What's your 200? Because I remember my last fast 200 was a 21.9 my senior year, and then my first 100 my senior year, we ran at Miller South. I went 10.3, and so I was like, okay, when I asked them, I was like, all right, and it just kind of teased it a little bit, but then I had to get out of there.
I just know that's crazy. And then you said it 195 to 205.
Yeah, that was my weight then. For some reason, I got heavier during the track season. I don't know what it was, but no, at Central, I know what it was. It was powerlifting in the winter. I was coming out of that, and then on top of that, then going into sprint training.
But don't you think that helped you?
100%.
Yeah, that
100%.
Especially in that era. That's when I come from a family of sprinters, and I knew that for a while, all the way up until 80 or so, the conversation was lifting will slow you down. Like don't do that.
Nope.
And then then folks are like, no, that's not true.
No.
At Nebraska at 205, did you feel big enough?
Oh, when I got here, I was actually 5 pounds heavier, so I was 210.
Did you feel like, you know what, you were strong enough? You knew you were fast enough.
Yeah, I knew I was fast enough.
That you were strong enough to take the pounding.
Oh yeah, yeah. I ran physical in high school. It's something my brothers taught me. Film I watched on guys like Walter Payton, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen. The way they ran the ball, they caught the ball at the backfield.
Oh, you're reading my mind now. I'm right into this. You walk right into this one. Okay. See, and every night, like the best way for folks to get to know you is these questions.
Oh yeah.
So give me that Mount Rushmore running backs.
Oh, well, number one for me, Walter Payton.
Okay.
I know he's not the all-time leading rusher in the NFL anymore. He's been knocked down a little bit, but from another good running back, Emmitt Smith. So Walter Payton for me,
Okay.
and then it's Bo Jackson,
Okay.
and then Marcus Allen,
Okay.
and then I'll put Emmett up there.
You put in Emmett over Jim Brown.
Oh shoot, yeah, I almost forgot about JB. I can't.
Is he like, because to me he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Yeah. So no, he's I'll go JB and then Emmett. And I got JB. I got a jersey from him signed, and he said from me on the Jim Brown from one to another. I thought that was. I mean, that's the sweetest jersey I got.
Do you pay attention to today's runner and say, you know what, I would still be great today?
Yes.
Or they would struggle back in the day.
For some running backs that I see pro and college, I could tell right away they'll be fine if they're playing during my time.
Okay.
And vice versa. I could say, like for today, the way the game's played, all the rule changes, I'll be fine. Actually, I'll be fine, but for defenses, I'll be a problem.
Be a problem. Well, you're a problem there.
Yeah, because just the physicality and knowing the game, the way I learned the game as I got older, being smart, about your body, taking care of your body in off season and all that recovery stuff, but then also the mentality. I just actually met an old classmate of mine, Glenn Mitchell. He's a principal up in Omaha, and I met his son Elijah, who's a recruit, and just talking to them today at the spring ball practice, and I mentioned him, and I say it to this a lot of players, in traditional sports and my esports players, where a lot of the game really, I mean, especially for esports, it's like 90%, it's like 99% mental for esports. But for traditional sports, and something Aaron Graham told me when I was a freshman, because I was having a rough practice, a lot of MAs, a lot of mental errors going on. Mm-hmm. And he saw me frustrated, beat myself up. And he said, AG, don't beat yourself up. He said, but you're a hard worker. You're gonna continue to keep working till you not mess up, where you understand the plays, you understand the words and the verbiage. But just know that 90% of the game is mental and 10% of the game is physical. So you got the 10% down. He said, just continue to focus and, bust your butt in that playbook. You'll be fine. And so that kind of calmed me down. Stop beating myself up a little bit to get everything, because I wanted, I was almost a perfectionist.
Yeah. Perfect.
When it right. I want it right. So heard that from him, and he was, he's on the field. He's in practice with me going through it too. So that kind of calmed me down. Like, okay, I got a teammate that just helped me with some good advice. He supported me too, so that just made me calm down and just get a little bit more tighter focus.
Before we get to the first break, you talking about the physical, the mental, and a big part of it, and I think a big hill to climb for this program, this Nebraska program this year, with new coaches, new players, and even the returning players having to start over and learn.
Yep.
How important is it on a scale of, out of that magical pie that has 100%, right?
Yeah.
How important, what percentage of importance in developing the program and elevating the program is film study?
Oh, man, that's
because it's the thing that, like, people, the star rating bothers me because it can't calculate somebody's real IQ when it comes to the game and how hard they're going to work at learning what they need to know about the game. So in your mind, okay, you're now the team coach, you're the program coach. Mm-hmm. Film study, how important is it?
It's priority number one. It's 90%. It's what Aaron said to me. It hasn't changed. And I say what esports is 99%, because the 1% is, obviously you're removing your fingers if you're on a controller or mouse and keyboard, your controller and arm on the keyboard, your fingers on the keyboard. But in traditional sports, it's still that 90%. Like I was telling Elijah, I said, regardless of how physical if you have all the physical abilities, that you could do everything. You could jump out the world. You could catch any type of ball coming your way. The stuff we see with a lot of kids today on, their Instagram or TikTok, doing, big catches like Odell Beckham and all that. That's great and fine, Danny. I'm like, but what happens when you make a mistake? Where does your head go when you didn't catch the ball that you should have caught, or it was an incomplete pass, and if you would have caught it, would have been a first down or a touchdown? Where do you go then? Do you beat yourself up and get right? Or do you just like, I'm out. My mental is gone. Because if your mental is gone, then physically you're not going to be there for your teammates or yourself. So you got to learn how to basically turn the page. You're in the moment, so you can't come off the field. Coach can't come time out to have a talk with you. You're in the middle of the game. You got to turn that page. Water off a duck's back. You got to do that to then step up to the next play and be like, all right, I'll fix that later. I got to play this dude. I got to cover this guy, or I got to beat this DB, or I got set up my alignment so I can hit this run game right and hit the run if it's right. So then I pick up the next play, first down, touchdown, whatever. You guys can just continue and don't let that mistake slow you down, basically.
There's so much depth to it. This is why I love talking to AG, because, again, you get that other side of it. The part that folks may not know about AG, the cerebral part is important. Heart and character matter. We'll throw the break when we come back. AG, I want to get into you identifying talent in these sports.
Yes.
I want to know, there's some studs walking around the campus of University of Nebraska, Lincoln, when it comes to esports. I give you a chance to shine a light on some future stars and names that folks that do not follow esports or may not be experts would want to know. All right. So we'll get that covered with you. AG's with us. We'll be right back.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
CNC machining or injection molding, we got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. With a premier facility that gives fans what they want, how they want to see it. And with a Saturday doubleheader, a Sunday Cup Series race, and great deals on kids' tickets, the views will get better all weekend long. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Red flag warnings in effect this afternoon due to critical fire danger. It will be hot and windy. South winds gusting near 40 with a high of 88. Tonight, mainly clear with a low of 59. We'll see a high of 83 tomorrow. South winds again gusting over 35 with a chance of scattered thunderstorms developing by evening. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, thank you for hanging out with us on a Thursday night. We got the great one. 30 himself, Ahman Green. AG, as we talk, I left you with this thing that now as the program lead for esports at the University of Nebraska, you have had the blessing to see who the stars the stars of the esports world in Nebraska. You know who they are. So for the lay fan that's curious, first of all, tell us which sports should we have our eyes to, and then let's talk about the stars themselves.
Yeah, so the games, Call of Duty,
Okay.
Overwatch 2, League of Legends, CS:GO, and Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart. And then eventually we'll get some, in my recruiting efforts, get some Madden players, some 2K players, and some FIFA players.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the games right now, and a few of the players I'll mention here in a minute.
Well, when you get to campus, like immediately when this project comes up and the possibility comes up, you had to look around. It was like, okay,
yeah,
what am I working with here?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I found that out right away as Jade, who is the club president, and she said we were have about 80 plus players. I was like, wow, that's huge. At Lakeland, I think the most we had was COVID year. We had 41 total, and that was a mixture of Gen Pop students to traditional athletes that wasn't playing their sport.
Okay.
So I had a ton of football players, a few soccer, men's and women's soccer, volleyball players playing Fortnite to Rocket League.
Okay.
And so obviously they understood. Most of them understood the process of practicing, having that structure. This is why we do it. And that was the whole learning of some of the students had to understand this is practice. We got practice from 3 to 6. It's 3 hours, 5 days a week, 15 hours in, so that's the buy-in. And so getting here, they already was basically doing that. They have teams, they have their practices. The part that, part of my job is knowing that it's amazing to me that they're doing it from the dorm rooms or from their apartments on either Ethernet, maybe Ether, or dorm room apartment Wi-Fi. So, and then knowing that, getting to know the players slowly. Right now, I know a few of them by their gamer names, and the Call of Duty team is really good. League of Legends has a few players. I know Call of Duty is Zeebs and Cloudsy and Hinder, Sully and Jayton, or he goes by Clone Trooper. And so, I've seen them practice. I've seen them play. I mean, I've seen them play actually a scrimmage against Mankato State a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, there's not much I got to do here. I just got to make sure.
You're just the orchestrator.
I'm the orchestrator of, of everything else outside of that, but making sure I had to talk about, how we're going to structure practice in the fall. It's going to be Monday through Friday. I'm looking ideally 3 to 6, if not 5 to 8, where it's at least a 3-hour clip from scrimmages to working mechanics, and then having game plan talk, strategy talk, of breaking down, like we have X team. If we have people that knows about that team. They've done scouting on them, or they played against them before, so they know how that team might
So
play.
are the students scouting?
Yes. Yep. Every team has a captain or a game advisor that basically gets information to basically study for the other team that they got to prepare for on whatever day, if it's Monday through Friday. Esports games are usually Monday through Friday. They're not on the weekends like a Saturday. They're usually Monday through Friday.
Why is that?
You know what? I really don't know.
Because I would think tournaments and such would be like big on weekends.
Yeah, it would be, but they run the seasons like a regular season, so it's one game a week.
Okay.
So, for example, Valorant last fall was every Monday at 7:00 Central Standard Time, and every Monday for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And if obviously it's 8 games, so if you finish obviously anywhere from 1 loss, 2 loss, you're pretty much in the playoffs. But if you're on the bubble, there's a play-in round for playoffs. You know, if you're 4-4 or 3-4, 2-4, there's a little playing round to give you one more chance, just like the NBA playing right now.
Yeah.
And if they win, boom, they're pretty much in for the playoffs. You take a week off, and then boom, playoffs start up for NECC or NASTAR League, ECAC, same, and GG Leagues is another league that we play in here. So the kids understand that, and but like I said, it was really I say delighted to see really good players. Actually, I met the Rocket team almost 2 years ago. I did an event in Council Bluffs. It was called the Mage, Mid-American Gaming Expo, and Rocket League was there and Overwatch was there, and they both won. You know, they played against other colleges, Concordia, Midland, Bellevue West was there, or Bellevue University, was there.
Like you mentioned their gamer names. Like, do you? I mean, as the leader of the program, what do you call them by? Like, what do you call them by their real name?
I will call
government name or game.
Yeah, I only met them once in person.
Yeah.
We did a media day last Tuesday. So I've only met most of Call of Duty team once. So I will call once I get their real names down.
Well, that's what was fun.
I'm gonna call them their real name.
So I saw that on social media.
Yeah.
And that was happening. Immediately I thought, okay, that's got to be cool, but how do you go through and identify, especially now you're talking about 80. You started with 80. How many do you have now?
I believe it's still hovering around that. You know, we're gonna have the usual attrition, graduation, transfers in and out.
Yeah.
And we have some transfers. Actually, this week I'm starting the paperwork for three total, 2 incoming freshmen and a transfer player from Concordia.
That's big.
That's going to be our first scholarship recipients. So one is Brittany. She plays Overwatch 2, and she is, I believe, a Grandmaster 2 ranking, which is basically like really good at her position. So like all American.
Like she's a paid professional. Almost.
Exactly. You know. And then Ethan, he is from St. Louis, Missouri. He plays Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. And then Caleb Walters, I believe he's either Cozad or somewhere near Cozad. And this kid, he actually came in my first month in maybe second week, right after we met.
Yeah.
And he came in kind of like reminded him. He reminded me of me when I walked. I was more laid back. I kind of asked my questions after the coach, like it was a visit he had with his mom and dad. And like I said, I was more observing. I would ask questions when asked upon. You say, "Mom, you got a question?" Then I'll fire a question. But if they didn't ask me, I wasn't going to ask.
Right.
But Caleb came right up to me. He's a tall kid. He's probably like, I'm 6'1", so he's probably like 6'3", 6'4", and he's like, I play Rocket League. You know, this is my my rating. I'm right under Supersonic, or I'm gonna be Supersonic here in a couple of weeks. Which Supersonic is the top level in the game of ranking. And he's like, you know, I know what's going on, and I want, you know, I'm glad to know that Nebraska got scholarships coming down the line, and this, that, and the other. So I'm here to, you know, find out about that right now. Do y'all have scholarships? And I'm like, yes, we will. You know, so just seeing that from an esports player at the high school level, that they're aware of this and having the drive that he had, I could see it. Like, he's going to come here and he's going to be, not only being a student, he's going to be phenomenal in Rocket League for our team, for our program.
So how many colleges / universities have full official esport programs?
I would say it's probably in the thousands, because you're going from all the way community college level all the way to D1 around the United States and Canada, over in Europe as well.
And then picking competitions for Nebraska. Who would Nebraska target? Who does Nebraska compete against on a regular basis?
Well, it depends on who are in those conferences I mentioned: NASTAR League, ECAC, NECC. So we could have a regular Big Ten matchup. We could be playing Michigan. We could.
Well,
play
that's what I would think, that at some point that a Big Ten conference tournament for esports is a thing in the future.
Right, but it wouldn't be Big Ten. It'd be like NACE Star League for now, because right now there's no Big Ten or SEC or Pac-12 doing that.
Do you think it would ever happen? Right,
I want it to happen.
Right, like so.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. NACE is doing a really good job.
I just
NACE
see
Star League, they're doing an outstanding job.
You see the commissioner, right? You see the commissioner of the Big Ten Esports Conference.
Yeah.
Right, putting it all together. You know,
it's not hard. It's not hard.
Well, but I think that's amazing to think that this thing is moving in such a space that man, you can actually do that.
It's moving fast.
Right. So, and then amongst your talented student athletes, who are the stars that amongst the esports world across they would know and go, okay, so the Masters is what percentage of the 80
that are really good?
Yeah,
I would say probably easy 40. I mean, it's because we got 3-4 teams that are really good. We got Overwatch, which is 5v5. So that's 5 players, or really plus the backups, which is compete 10.
And does anybody on those teams still compete single?
No, not. No. Oh well, if maybe Smash.
Okay,
I'll find out. But they could, once with Madden, with FIFA, with NFL, or FIFA and NBA 2K, maybe. But with the shooter games, a lot of those teams are really, really good. So, like I said, Overwatch is 5v5, Call of Duty is 4v4. So, and then Rocket League is 3v3. League of Legends is 5v5. So if you do the numbers there, that's around 40, close to 45 players that are really, because I've seen them all play. I've seen Rocket League play. I've seen League play. I've seen Call of Duty, even the Valorant team. That's 5 teams right there. So you're talking about close to 50 players that are highly ranked, and they actually, together as a team, they play very well.
And that's the varsity. That's like,
yes. That's the varsity level.
Those are the stars among stars.
So those are the kids that if they were being recruited right now, they would earn scholarships. But right now, since they're on campus, they gotta play with what they got. What they will get jerseys and a kit once we get to the fall and get to our uniforms and all that, and have our space, which we're getting built out here.
Okay, so we need to see the kids. Like we need to see Austin, right? Like we need to see the kids, right?
Need to see them on us,
right? Like we need to see the kids, like they're University of Nebraska esports kids.
Yeah, we got they got current jerseys that they've been have been wearing for the last 3 years, and I've been talking with a company, and they did some mock-ups for us, so we got some potential mock-ups that may be our jerseys. We don't know officially yet. I'll probably know some midsummer or once school get out.
Are you fundraising for said jerseys? Are you fundraising for the program itself?
Yes. So this week we've had a conversation with a good friend of mine out of Texas, Danny Martin, who's going to help us with our production equipment, getting that bought. But from the athletic department, they already helped out with finance there. But then obviously between waiting for a company called Playfly that is sponsored, that works with Nebraska in terms of their marketing, getting that down to then we start doing our build out and our bids and getting bids from each company that will build out the facility from an equipment standpoint, paint and carpet and all that stuff. And then I spoke with a company just a couple of days ago that will help out, this company here, Sly, that will have a potential rev share once we open the merch store. So we're looking for companies like that inside, they could be in the facility.
Did you get with Blake? From Blake Builders?
Not yet.
Oh, see, all of this stuff?
Yeah.
Those are the folks who are helping to build out for the new radio station location.
Right.
So all the stuff that you're doing, this is right down his lane.
Good.
This is right down his lane. All right, we'll throw the break. We'll talk more about these star athletes, and I want to talk about the phrase that applies and why. Student athlete. When we talk about esports, I want Ahman's breakdown of those two words together. Student athletes. We'll be right back.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Nebraska State Veterans Homes are here to serve veterans, their spouses, surviving spouses, and Gold Star parents. Join your fellow veterans and their families at one of our homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, or Scottsbluff. With a sliding scale to determine your financial contribution, an excellent clinical team, and plenty of fun activities, our homes are the perfect retirement choice. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/homes. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm on green for an hour. It's not enough, but we do the best we can until we can get him to do more.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is the thing. Yeah, you know, I literally had some folks want to step up and sponsor the hour and folks who want to be involved in it. And I said, okay, that'll help us extend it. And then the mission is that there will be an esports nightly because I want Ahman and these young people to have a place where they get amplified and elevate, and just to come in and show. And here's the thing with the new streaming that we have. So imagine even on television being able to slide the games into the stream.
Oh yeah,
and show them on Allo and then on YouTube. So to be able to do that, so I think we can pick. Each night could have a different game that you feature.
Yeah.
And I think that's all in play. But
yeah,
there's plenty. There's plenty.
There's so many ways to do this and have fun with it. And I know the kids, like we've met several times since I say January, so about the last 3 months since I've been here. We met about our social media, getting that coordinated to start posting stuff about like what you saw when we did our media day in the third floor studio there, and then other stuff like weekly and daily posts where, ask Coach Ahman a question, about esports, in terms of it's no matter the game or from a coaching standpoint, we're going to start, and I'm going to do live videos of describing whatever that question is to people.
See, this is where I get in trouble because immediately, like when my brain never turns off, and immediately I'm just seing Ahman and Jay Foreman playing Madden.
Oh yeah, we got some fun with that.
Like
right
I just know that this is happening. Like just to watch you beat up on Rashawn and Madden would just be great television.
Oh yeah, he's a trash talker. So I know exactly what you had with that feeling. What you just said came out. I could feel
like
the frustration, the passion, and just dealing with BJ on the daily. I could tell by your tone.
Yeah,
how that came out of your mouth there.
And as much Call of Duty as Farley plays.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Plays,
so I think that I really think that's a thing.
Yeah.
That we go back. We can go back and play with some of those classic Nebraska teams.
Yeah, and then
and just talk about
exactly
what happened actually in the games. There's so much stuff that I want to do with Ahman, and I'm like, as I said, I'm
gonna have some fun.
Yeah, we're gonna get in and
I mentioned, and I did, and I tell I'm in the meetings. I told the kids that hey, there's a guy named DP, or I said Derek to them that was looking for, if you want to do your own show here, come down the street, off the 27th and O, or 48th and O, we're right here. And everybody was like, "Oh, really?
We are going to do this." I think
they're happy to hear that.
I think Saturday, especially for the next from April until August, the Saturdays. That's a full window of
opportunity
of your students having the ability for whatever their favorite game is, or the ones that have a team, they just come in and have those conversations,
talk about,
share the stories, talk about the program and all those things in play.
Yeah,
and that's wide open. So it's a thing. Yeah, it's wide open. All Coach Green, all you can do is call.
Yep.
Like I've got 3 shows, I got 5 shows, I got 10 shows, whatever the number is, we'll make it work.
Yeah,
because I'm excited about what you're doing with the program, and I'm excited that the young people in the program get the exposure.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, they know that, because I'm asking them their thoughts, their feedback. Like, what's your feedback on this? What's your feedback on that? So knowing that I want their whole, thought on everything. Once we get to the build out and from colors or the way that the design, we're kind of already there, but in some of the little stuff that they could have, add their touch to it, from the mouse pads or what have you. But just to know it's coming, they're just super excited and can't wait. They're super elated about everything coming to campus.
There's so much to this, and as I said in week 1, there's not going to be a single week where we get to talk about everything I want to talk to Ahman about. So that's why we plan. We'll be right back here next week, and we'll have plenty to talk about. I ask you in closing, if you get 1 hour to yourself. What game are you playing? What is your go-to?
My go-to is 2 games.
Okay.
So just before our game here, I was watching the clock to make sure I left the house at 5:30. I was playing Madden.
Yeah.
And the other game is Halo. If I got 45 minutes, I'm playing one of those 2 games before I got to cut.
We're gonna one of the shows, one of these hours, it's just gonna be you actually playing the game, breaking it down.
Oh, that's like
that has to happen.
That's my dream day. We actually playing Halo or Madden, and I'm working at the same time.
See,
it's all working the same.
Man,
that's it right there.
If you love what you do, it's never work, man. Exactly. It's never work. Ahman, appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, DP.
Great stuff. Austin Orman, appreciate you, man. Don't go anywhere. Ticket Week Nights will take you through. Don't go anywhere.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply